Good afternoon. This is Steve, and welcome back to my channel. This is basically another part of the series of my in-ground lift restoration. My last video I did, we had the oil tank sandblasted. I redid the outer casing on the piston that you see in the ground sticking out. We had it sandblasted. We painted it. And we did the do-it-yourself truck bed liner. I put two coats on, and then the video before that, we replaced the seal right here, brand new seal, and this is a JK622. They always ask you for the numbers when you get the seal. This is a rotary lift right here, made by Rotary. It's a single post lift, um, and what we did was we dug it out, cut the concrete as you see. I also have it saw cut over here for my oil line to go. Um, here, here's my dog. This is Daisy, and the oil line is sticking out of the wall here. Here's the oil. It's going to connect to that, and then this part here is going to go into the ground, connect to the piston, and then here's our fill. So we still got to drill this out into the wall, get the air line to the top of the tank here. Here's the tank. It's all redone. Here's the piping going through the wall, and I put a ball valve on here so I can basically cut it off if I have to. It's another safety feature I put on this lift. If I'm not going to use it, I can lock it out right here by closing this ball valve to block the flow of oil going to the piston when it's not in use. Because this is in my home shop, and I have kids here and grandkids, and I don't want anybody to get hurt. But this is basically about a 40-gallon tank. I will put the hydraulic oil in here, and then I'll connect my air line to this um, from the valve, from the fill valve. So that's right here. Basically, what you do is you pressurize it. There'll be a pipe coming out of here, going in through the wall, connecting to the tank. And then once you pressurize the tank, this is how you're going to control the flow of oil coming out of the tank and going into the piston. And I got a rag in here right now to block so I don't get any debris inside the casing. So this is a rotary. It's a 1983 rotary Frank Paul 46 fully hydraulic model in-ground lift, and this is all American steel. Before the American steel plants had closed down. Basically, it's not Chinese steel. It's heavy duty steel. This thing probably weighs close to 2 tons in my estimate, because this thing's rated on the plate to hold 8,000-pound vehicle, but they underrated a little bit for safety. It'll probably hold 10,000 pounds. Um, and then the safety leg is right here. It goes in that little tube next to the piston. It's right here. So basically, this will be my lift to work on my cars, and it'll be a work table too, and so on. So I just want to show you guys what we did. And we dug this thing yesterday. We went about 8 feet 3 inches because we went down 2 inches below the top of the concrete, because I want to be able to bury this thing with, if I take the top off with the yoke in the arms. If I decide I'm going to abandon this thing, I can just take it out, take everything off, take the bolts out, you know, and go over the top of it with some cement. I'm going to finish all this here with cement. It'll be about a 2-inch difference. But like I said, if I ever decide I'm going to abandon this thing for whatever reason, I can just put a little cement over the top and disconnect the oil tank, because like I said, I put a ball valve on there for a reason. So if I ever want to abandon it, get rid of it, I can have the hydraulic oil pumped out of the tank disconnect the oil tank, have it removed safely and environmentally, and there will not be any. Basically, when this thing piston goes down, it pushes all the oil back into the tank, and that was the reason why I chose this lift model, because it doesn't hold 37 gallons of hydraulic oil in the center of this thing like the old some of them do. This one holds the oil in the tank, and that tank they normally would bury it in the ground. Um, in most cases, but like I said, some people when they put a lift in, they put the oil tank above ground so they don't have an environmental concern, and that's me. I don't want to have any issues. One thing I will do um, with this lift is when I pipe it with the 1.25 inch piping, I'm probably going to put a little access plate right here somewhere and put a ball valve on the oil line, so I have another way of locking this thing so it doesn't pressurize for whatever reason. So, if I had ever had a leak, I can isolate it between piping being maybe a piping issue or a leak in the piston casing. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to have a problem with the casing leaking, because I put 2 coats of truck bed liner on this outer casing right here, um, so it would never rust out or rust through from groundwater. When we did dig this dig this out, we did not have any water table. We didn't reach any water table. It was basically all sand. Being I'm down here in Florida, I was concerned maybe we'd hit a water table, maybe 5 feet down. But in the case here, we don't have any. We didn't find any water when we dug this thing out, and it took about 75 pails to get all the sand out of here to dig this thing all the way down, and then I poured a 4-inch concrete pad, which is sitting at the bottom of this thing. I framed it out. We poured it, let it sit for a few days to harden up, and then we lowered this thing in the ground. We used a chain. We had some 4-wheel dollies under it, and we just basically controlled the drop with the truck, so it wouldn't just fall in. So we were able to get it onto the concrete pad, and then we were able to maneuver this thing, get it centered and leveled, and so on. And we did a good job of leveling when I poured the cement. We did a good job of leveling it, so we made sure that this thing would sit level in the floor. So it's basically a 4-inch thick pad, probably almost completely the width of this hole. I mean, it's a pretty good size pour, and that was I had enough room to stand. We had enough room to stand over here to make sure it was leveled right, and so on. And we just put a piece of 5-inch PVC pipe across here, put a chain around it, and lowered the bucket into the ground with cement. And the same thing when we were digging it out. We did it all by hand. We didn't rent no equipment to do this. We did it all by hand, and we were able to dig this thing out in probably 4 hours it took us. And then putting it back into the ground, the sand, it seemed like it took a little bit less time. It went a lot faster. So, but that's the update on this install project. A couple of weeks from now, I'll probably get some piping and get this thing, pull these slabs out that I cut. I got to dig it down a little bit, get some 1.25 inch piping that won't rot out, some galvanized pipe, I guess they call it, or iron pipe, and get this thing all hooked up, and then test it with the ball valve closed over here, so I can pressurize the air tank in the lines going to the piston. Right before the piston, I'm going to put a ball valve in there so I can make sure my lines aren't leaking. And then, I'll make a mixture of soap and water, and I'll spray around all the threads after I put the pipe dope and the pipe tape around everything. Make sure I have no leaks, and then I can get this filled in, pour a new slab here, and get this thing all covered up and so on. Um, so I can at least get in here and park my car again. But it's been a project since we started this back in March, and we were just kind of hoping to do it before it got real hot down here. But that's our update right now. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please get back and message me. Thank you, and have a great day.